Shalom Aleichem, blessed morning Barak Bakar. This video is entitled Support Yourself. And I left my glasses at home, so obviously I didn't support myself today. Trump won. You know, when this first happened, I said that this dude would win. Then I saw him being derogatory and ignorant and saying the most craziest things in the world. And I said to myself, this dude's throwing this away. There's no way this man's about to win. There's no way that there's that many ignorant people in the world that will pick this man and allow him to rule the United States of America. Have you seen the way the world's been going the last couple of years? Much less since creation. Much less since Egypt. Much less since... Dang. I mean, when have you known this world to be righteous? When have you known this world to be right? Trump said everything that a lot of people have been thinking forever, even diehard Christians. In 2011, 2012, 2010, if you'd have told me anything about what's going on with black people, I would have said, pray. And if you do the word of Yah, then things will go well for you. Then I started talking to white Christians, and they found the most derogatory things to say about our people and what they were going through. And my heart broke. I was like, you're Christian. The scriptures say so much about taking care of your brothers and sisters and not putting stigma on a people. Those are Christians too. They have children too. This is wrong. I should have known better. I'm black. My car is shaking. Interesting. Anyway, I'm black. So the reality is that, number one, the United States of America, which is part of Rome, which has been attacking our people for over 4,000 years, or 3,000 years. Nope, pretty sure it's 4,000 years. Anyway, the United States of Rome has been killing off my people and enslaving us for millennia. The eagle is representative of every single European nation, America included. Why would I think that this would not have worked the same way? Black people are upset because they're saying that we should have won. They keep saying our vote counts. Do you see how many of us is actually out there? Have you been paying attention to what's going on? Do you not know when they say that you will be a remnant? What a remnant actually is? It's a tiny, small, insignificant group of people. Do you think that 6 billion people are going to fit in Israel, even with all the land that Solomon owned, even as heir to Egypt? Come on now. Don't be stupid. Let's get real with this. Listen, the only time things go towards the Democratic Party is when Republicans are uneasy about how situations happen in the world. And only when. Because Democrats are never going to really vote Republican. Never. They're going to keep doing it. But Democrats will not vote because they are not happy with what's going on and they feel that their vote doesn't matter. Why would you do that? Anyway, you gotta deal with a lot of ignorant people in the world, and that was just a common example where this man decided that he wanted to get over and could have caused me to have an accident. But whatever. such is life. That's how this country works. People don't care about you, they care about themselves. And that includes black people, because our people actually think the answer to all our problems and situations is to support POTUS, is to support the United States thesis. You forget that you're not even a citizen of the United States. You're a legal citizen, meaning that could disappear at some point. Meaning that if your kids were all well educated, your kids kept out of jail, your kids had the highest jobs in the world, and your kids started getting to a point where this was a 60-30 situation, your citizenship may be revoked. And if I said this 7 years ago or 10 years ago, no, actually, if I would have said this in 1999, y'all would probably curse me out. But the land cries with your blood, brother, the blood of your brothers and sisters in the streets. So, evidence of men being able to kill you off without due process, without paying the cost, is all over the place. And the person that don't give a darn about that just became president of the United States. When you vote, the word vote is connected to vow. It's a form of prayer, a form of worship. I've been saying that for years. I made a note so that all my friends can see it, my family can see it, to know, hey, when you vote, you're praying. And when you pray, you always accept whatever happens in the situation. You know what the next step is? Participation in government. You will be deciding who goes to jail. You will be deciding who dies. You will be paying whatever they ask you to pay. You can be arrested for whatever they want you to arrest you for. When a person is quiet, minding their business, living their life, they have peace. They don't have anybody in their face all the time. I think that we need to reason righteousness and stop dealing with this false thesis of how things work in the world. Because the whole fact of the matter is that when the Christian man can speak about picking someone who overall has shown a lot of ignorance towards people, who already openly pushes for transgenderism and everything else, we should already know that those people aren't serving Yahuwah. They're serving God. What? You sound stupid. No, I don't, because I know that the word God is a Norse word that is connected to the name duo, which was written into the Bible by the Romans in 325 AD. So I know who it is. When I was a kid, I loved reading about these people. So I know who God is. I know who God is not. And God is not the King of Israel. But people say you're pulling straws. Listen. A people that do righteous and live righteous have a righteous reward. Show me where our people who go through all the situations and circumstances in the United States of America are righteous. Show me where they do the right thing. They're praying in hopes that their prayers will be answered, and they don't know the reason why is because they just took some stone, they just took some sticks, they just took some water, they put it together and they formed their God, and they pray to it. And they have not been observing who their Yah is, their Allah is, their Allah is. Even my Muslim friends was jumping up like, I voted, my vote counts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you missed the whole entire thing. Even Farrakhan is telling you to start your own system up, and somehow, some way, you still focus on the European system. Everywhere in the world, civil unrest is happening, insurrection is happening, and these people are dying off. They weren't living righteous to begin with. It is what it is. You know, the scriptures say, I will kill a third of you by famine, a third of you by plague, and the other ones will be hunted because you're not righteous. That's what it says. Support yourself. And the first way of supporting yourself is to support Yah and Yah's kingdom, all Yah has to offer. Guess what? If you have brothers and sisters on the street, you're supposed to train them up. If they don't want to be trained up, then leave them to die. Leave them to die. They're part of the third that's supposed to be meant to die. That's their choice. That wasn't your choice. You wanted to help them. But the text also says to carry the burdens of your brother, lest they cause you to sin. That's the key point. Your brothers and sisters can cause you to turn from Yah. Because of the life they live, you could be misdirected and unfocused. I've seen it happen, and I've had to fight it myself. I have to catch myself. I've said things that were not supposed to be said, and did things that I was not supposed to do, and put myself in a bad position that was pretty idiotic on my part. But hey, this distraction is real, and sometimes it's easy to say you can't blame me, but not being righteous, you will pay. Because these people ain't playing. They're going to kill you. And you have nobody to blame but yourself for the things that you go through each and every single day. You know? Tomorrow's not promised. Guys are playing for keeps. You're not playing for keeps. You won't open up schools. You won't open up businesses. You won't find areas to rehabilitate. And that's your main issue right there. Ain't no Democrat gonna support polygyny. It is what it is. Ain't no Democratic Party going to support no polygyny, but they will support homosexuality. Homosexuality is a form of sterilization. Republicans is be fruitful and multiply. You know why? Because it's the way of the plagiarism of the text of Yisrael. It's also helpful to have more children so that you can go to war. So Utah is filled with people who believe in polygyny, and nobody can attack them because they all moved to one section of the world, and they have a little place under the sun where they can be able to have their cake and eat it too, in any which form they want to. All their cults are protected by people who are in government. So if something happens and they come to this side, because it's part of America, because each part of America has jurisdiction, you now have to prove your case against another jurisdiction, and that becomes a hard thing to do. You have no one else to blame but yourself. When we sin, we pay for what we did. And you're choosing everyone else but yourself. You're choosing everyone's way but Yah's. You're following all Pasal. It's funny that an AL is at the end of Pasal. But you're following all Chosek people, and you won't walk in Ore, light. It's your decision to make, not to support yourself. If you don't create schools, the education that your children have is going to be based on what you can afford or what the government affords to you. If you don't open up businesses, your nutrition is going to be on the basis of what the government affords to you or what you can afford to buy. If you don't work on sciences, your ability to procure or to manifest is going to be on the basis of your dollar. And last I checked, not many of us are making $250,000 a year, $350,000 a year, $1 million a year. Not many of us. There's not that many Jacobs around here. Ain't that many Josephs around here running no big countries that wasn't his, or it's not that many Solomons or Daniels for that matter, because Daniel did the same thing. He was a prince of the Yahudim, and he was erected because of his righteousness for the sake of protecting his brothers and sisters, his people. So while you're here mad, I'm driving past tons of farmland right now. I crossed the threshold of what it means to be Republican. It's a gorgeous area right here. These people got gorgeous houses. They got gorgeous land. They don't have any sidewalks. They barely have any streetlights. All I see is cows and farms and animals. These people are raising what they want to raise so that they can have what they want to have. They are building, and they have been building since the creation of this country, even when we were cattle ourselves. And you so stupid that you get mad over bullshit and won't do what you need to do as a people. Yo, when you go to jail and you can't fight and these dudes is raping you, you start to go through a syndrome where now you accept the rape. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people that's sick that's going to take it and they won't even fight back anymore, or they'll be jealous over the other rape again. A comedian was talking about a tiger, and the tiger used to roar at people, and the tiger stopped believing in itself because of the fact that it was oppressed. Started getting sick. You think about that with us. We start pumping meds. We start getting high. We start using drugs. We start abusing our sisters and raping and killing our sisters. We divorce our wives and we refuse to take care of our children. That's all part of the psychosis of oppression. And it happens because we're unlearned people that won't take care of our own. Yo, we got a lot of educated people as far as sciences and maths. Got a lot of people in the computer field, the sciences. I don't take that away from us, but education in itself is about the family. It starts there. Because now, when you start with the education of the family, you are manifesting greatness within your household. And then you extend your household. I don't have any problem with you extending your household red, white, black, green, purple, blue. But you extend your household before you do anything else. And unfortunately, our people are not doing that. They're extending another man's household, another man's vineyard. We work for Republicans. Why did we think that Republicans would care what happens to us? We are a talking point to Republicans. What happens to our people is an inside joke. And I talk to a lot of Caucasians on a regular basis. I do my best to explain things so that they can understand what the real problem is. But there's not that many of us around. And there's not many of them around either. Look, man, there's always going to be a bad egg within some group of people. But some people sincerely want to know what's wrong. Some people just don't give a damn. Because, makes sense, I'm walking past their houses right now. I'm walking past their large amounts of land, their mountainous region, their animals, their businesses. I'm going to pass by their school system in which their kids go And nobody else goes unless they live here or connected here or own something where their kids are in an environment of their design and manifestation. So regardless of what happens in Waterbury, regardless of what happens in Hartford and what happens in New Britain, if there were Muslims, they'd be in Mecca. They'd be in Mecca. They'd happy. They got what they need. You were watching the news. As soon as they got heroin addicts, they started lowering the law. They started changing the laws so that they can help one another. Where we were the majority because we ignorantly were not strong enough to fight. When Hoover then put the drugs in black neighborhoods, they were like, arrest us, put us in jail. Support your people. It's good. Go to school. But when you're not putting the money up for the kids in your neighborhood to go to college, that's a problem. 1,000 people should, in fact, be able to come up with $960,000 a year at least. Put your drugs down. Put your guns down. Put your weed down. Put your condoms down. Maybe you should keep those. Go ahead and stop buying all that junk food. Stop going to the club. Find a way to make sure that you can come up with $80 a month. I've been saying that for years. I've been posting that for years. And y'all not ready. And you know what? With this whole 100% Republican thing, what I get out of it is to see what Republicans can really do when they control it all. Well, and actually, I don't even know if it's a 100% control Republican thing. I'm just assuming. So, when they control it all, I guess we'll see what happens. Go Fox News, because you did your job right. You did your job well. But we need our own schools. We need our own method of dealing with our homeless. We need daycares for our elderly. We need programs and solutions for our kids so they won't be on the streets. We need a unified faith under Yahuwah. None of that's going to happen when y'all can't come up with the money to take care of each other. I'm walking around right now. I've never, ever, ever seen this city this quiet since I started working here in a year. I've never driven around and not seen a police officer out on the streets. It's like today's a holiday to these people. They got their country back. They're celebrating. It's quiet. People are going to come to work giggling. People are going to come to work playing. Everybody's going to be friends. Everybody's going to be happy. Because unlike our presidents, as people want to say, because they say Barack Obama's our president, they're going to actually have the numbers to actually do something that matters. They're going to actually have the numbers to decide what they want to decide. And it's because their system, it's their system. You should not be dependent on a system that's been against you since its creation. You should have an interdependent system. You should be ambassadors or have an ambassador that they have to speak to and answer to if they want peace. When Nebuchadnezzar did what he did and took Daniel them in, he took Daniel them in for that very reason. Because in order to quell insurrection, you need leaders that will be representative of the people. Josephus was not a leader representative of the people when he was in Rome, so people didn't like him, people did not want him, people hated him. If they had a chance, they would kill him. They called him a sellout. Daniel was a leader for his people. Yah protected, Yah backed him. Throughout the ages, there's always been a voice for the people, a collective voice. And despite whatever happens everywhere else, you couldn't mess with those people. that's not necessarily politics. Because today's politics, black Americans don't have a voice. I mean, saying that you have a voice is an illusion because you're not unified. You guys don't have a unifying view. You have multiple views. Separate, divided. As that lady told me, the American people, which is obviously not me, because she said it to me, will not be divided. If you have a problem, go back where you came from. Or one should go back to where you came from. People, stop getting mad and stop getting sour and get smart. You want better, you got to do better. And it starts with having your own. I love you regardless of whether or not you love me. And if you're mad, I hope you block me and get rid of me. Because in all wholehearted honesty, I don't got no time to deal with none of this more stuff anymore. You won't do the things that you need to do righteously. You won't do the things that you need to do financially. You won't do the things that you need to do in correspondence to taking care of your own. You won't do anything education-wise to take care of your own. So I don't want to deal with you. And I'm going to keep saying stuff to piss you off so that you can leave me alone. And that you don't listen to these videos I post. Because truthfully, when we as a people don't have a heart for one another, we don't exist. And we'll cease to exist. We will have a bunch of I'm 1/4 Native American blacks walking around in testament to our history and our story. Die out. That's all.